Mykolaiv was founded as a naval base at the end of the 18th century, and it quickly turned into an incredible and successful commercial port on the Black Sea. It became renowned as the city of ships because of its very advanced shipbuilding industry. When Ukraine established its independence from the Soviet Union in the 1980s, of course, there was a shrinking in the available market for the shipbuilding industry, and this led to a downsizing of the industry itself for it to be able to survive. So over time, this left behind an incredible amount of infrastructure and equipment and building that today lay there mainly along the river and more or less abandoned. Effectively, what we would like to do with the concept master plan is to give this industrial heritage a second chance. We want to finally free up these areas and open them up to the public, and by doing so, we will be able to give the riverfront back to the population. Together with the municipality, within our pilot projects, we have identified one site in particular to initiate this process, and this is the old shipyard site along the riverfront. We've gone through an extensive process of community engagement. What we came up with is the idea of generating basically an open-air diffused museum to celebrate the history of Mykolaiv, but still connecting and integrating these uses and creating synergies between the industrial heritage and new functions, new uses such as offices and startups, restaurants and bars, residential blocks. By opening up the ex-industrial areas of the city, we can free up a pedestrian and cycling itinerary along the river that will be connected to the main structures and main cities of the city. And by doing so, we can allow people to enjoy views of the river, but also to actively utilize the river itself, whether that's by cycling or walking or accessing water sports and water transport, which will be available along the river and that right now are just not there. It's not possible to have them there because of the industrial uses along the river itself. Together with our partners at Systematica, we're putting together a strategy to integrate different modes of transport, prioritizing flexible modes of transport, but still taking advantage of what's already there. There is a railway system that historically was used mainly to serve the industrial parts of the city for freight transport. If some of these industrial areas are being relocated to other parts of the city, we can easily transform this infrastructure into something that serves public transport in terms of daily commute for people getting to the city center from the periphery of the city. What we're trying to do with the concept master plan is to establish new hubs of densification and diversification in terms of uses to make sure that even if one lives in a residential or mainly residential neighborhood, would still be able on one hand to reach everything they need in their daily life, and at the same time being able to have easy access to public transport to then get to the destinations they want to reach, whether that's in the city center or in other areas of the city.